Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today we are going to be setting up my pre-made journal for March. So you can see my pre-made journal here. I chose the Glacier Blue and added some gold foil to the cover to say 2026 and some cute little charms as well. And this is obviously the third month planning in this journal. If you want to see what I've done for future or previous months, you can go ahead and check my previous videos. I'll try to link February right up here. So as was the case with all of the themes in this journal, you guys chose a plants theme over on Instagram. That's kind of how we put this journal together. Was before drawing every month, I would put up a suggestion box, like what themes would you like to see? And then we voted between the most popular 4 requests, and plants is what won for March. So I was super excited about coloring this theme because I love green and I knew it would have lots of green. And my gut said, go with a very muted, natural sort of color palette, which is what my gut always says. I love browns, muted oranges, yellows, and greens, but I tried to go against the grain of what I would normally choose, because here's the thing, whenever we're working on custom journals together on my live stream, which by the way, we do work on custom bullet journals on my live stream every weekday, you can find the link for that below. You guys always want bright colors. And I always end up loving it, even though they're not colors that I would naturally choose because they're not those muted earthy tones. And so I decided to, on my own volition, choose bright colors for this month. And honestly, I regret it. It definitely fits some months, but you'll see as soon as I color the pots, I think that's where I went wrong, was going with a bright pink, a bright peach, and a bright yellow instead of the muted colors like the brown and muted peach and soft tan that I was originally thinking. But either way, I still really love this theme and all the greens and everything. So if you are new to this specific journal, this is my pre-made journal, which is like a coloring book and a planner combined into one. And so every month you have standard monthly pages. On the left, you can see a blank page, which you can use for whatever kind of extra things you need in the month that weren't covered by the other pages that I included. Then you've got a title page followed by a calendar, some trackers, a memory keeping page, and then your weekly spreads. And all of it is like this. It's coloring book style, and then you can use it as a planner. So if you're interested to see a flip through of this entire journal with all of its monthly themes, I will link that right up here. So I do get asked sometimes about how I color and kind of my technique for coloring and livening it up with multiple layers of marker and stuff like that. And as you've already seen on this page, generally what I do is just kind of choose my base color and lay down one solid layer of that. So I did that for each of the plants, I did that for the pots, and then I will often go in with that exact same marker and just darken up certain parts to create a bit of a shadow. I don't really know all of the technical artsy, ways to figure out, okay, where would the shadow be? Where would the light be? Generally, if I'm ever in doubt, I put a shadow on the bottom right. That's just kind of the system in my brain. So I'll often just darken up the bottom right side or something that would be obscured to the top left, if that makes sense. I'll darken that up and then sometimes add white gel pen as a highlight opposite of that. For some of the darker greens, like that sort of snake plant, I did actually use a different green to darken it up, an even darker one. But usually you can get away with just using the same marker twice, which is also what I did on March to get that sort of ombre effect. The March lettering, as you would have seen originally, was light gray in the journal, and I featured that a lot in this journal so that you can either practice your calligraphy tracing over it, or again, just treat it like a coloring book, color those letters in, and if you want to do fun effects like this sort of ombre, you just use the exact same color again, but just on about half of the letter. And then you'll see later I will go in, or sorry, I just did it. I went in with my white gel pen and added some white gel pen to kind of the downstrokes. You'll notice all of the downstrokes are thicker, and that's where I add the white gel pen to. So what I typically do with the page to the left is I use it as like a big tasks hub for the month. So I have a section for home tasks, and this is often like bigger chores that don't need to be done regularly, so they're not on my cleaning tracker, or, you know, seasonal things like getting the garden ready or something like that. Whereas my work tasks would be, you know, which YouTube videos I want to film that month, what kind of progress I want to make on a custom bullet journal or on the next pre-made journal, that kind of thing. So I like to split up my tasks page here into those two sections, and then I will add some little gray highlighted lines that I can write my tasks on and use this throughout the month. And every time I set up a weekly spread, I like to come back to this page and choose at least one or two of these kind of bigger monthly tasks to tackle each week. So moving on to the calendar page now. Again, every month in this journal has an undated calendar like this. So I'm using mine for 2026. I know a lot of you guys are, but since it is undated, you could actually start it mid-year or start it next year. You can really use it anytime. And so I am going to do a Sunday start calendar. That's the other nice thing about having it undated, is I know lots of you guys prefer a Monday start calendar. For me, I love a Sunday start. And so that's what I'm going to do here for my March calendar. I'm going to write in the dates and then just write Sunday through Saturday across the top. Over on the right hand side, as you can see, there are some blank boxes, and again, that's a feature that every month has in this journal, because I did want to really just ride the line between doing everything for you, so you're not thinking about what needs to go on each page, you're not really having to doodle anything, but also leaving some room for flexibility, because that is essentially like the beauty of bullet journaling, is that you're not getting a completely fixed planner, you're building a planner that meets your needs. So we had a full blank page at the beginning of the month. We've got a blank column on this page. I use that for my weekly focus, just kind of choose a big priority focal point for the week. You could use it for goals, you could use it for notes. If you want to use it for events, I put my events straight into the calendar, but you can really use that space, again, however you want. I want this journal to be as customizable as possible without you really having to put in much work, because I've done most of it for you. And as usual, the last step on this page is to add white gel pen. I added it to the letters and then to some of the plant leaves, as well as you will have seen me do those little black sparkles around the page just to kind of fill up some of the extra space a little bit. Moving on to the next page here, we have some more of that light gray calligraphy for tracing over. And if you're not at the point yet where you want to take a brush marker like me and just go straight in and do calligraphy, you can treat this like another coloring sort of doodle. So you'll want to just take a marker and outline the borders of the gray text and then just color it in. So it doesn't need to be one continuous stroke if you're not ready for that yet. You can just treat it as an element to be colored as well. But either way, I really wanted to include some way for you to have colored calligraphy, even though this is just a black and white journal. So the pages that you see here are on the left, a tracking page, and then on the right, of course, a memory keeping page. So on the left, you'll see 6 habit trackers. Those are pretty basic. It's more of just like a yes, no. So you'll choose some habits like things that you're trying to do every day. So take your vitamins, exercise, read your Bible, whatever it may be, you write that in at the top there. And then on the days when you do it, you get to color that box. On the days when you don't get to color the box. So it's just kind of checking yes or no, did I do this healthy habit each day of the month? Down below, you'll see a circle tracker. And that's meant to have a little bit more variation to it. So instead of just a yes, no, you want to pick something that kind of exists on a bit of a spectrum. So it could be, and probably the most common thing would be to use it for your mood. So over to the side of it, which you can't see because my hand's there, but you have room to give yourself a key. So 4 different colors and give yourself a key. So you could set 4 different potential moods. You could set 4 different, amounts of water and try to keep track of how hydrated you were, how much water you drank. 4 different ranges of steps if you're trying to keep track of your step count. For me this month, as you'll see in a moment, I am using mine as an energy tracker. I am mid-pregnancy, really struggling with insomnia and sleep issues. And so my energy levels are all over the place right now. And so honestly, I'm not a huge tracker person. I'm a huge planner person. I need a place to write down my events, my tasks, all of that kind of stuff. But tracking is kind of to me. So I just kind of choose something in my life that exists on a spectrum and put it on this tracker, which for me is going to be my energy levels this month. Now the page to the right is obviously very simple. It's just a memories page. Even though it's very bare right now, this ends up being my favorite page every month because I just kind of dump down fun memories from the month. Funny things that my kids say, little milestones, things that we do as a family. I often will print out a picture to put onto this page or add some extra doodles that kind of fit with things that we did that month. And it ends up just being a really precious keepsake at the end of the year because I not only have my planning, but I also have a nice collection of highlights from each month. Always get some questions about my supplies, especially my white gel pen. The white gel pen that I have been loving these days is the Languo P600B, specifically the P600B because it has a nice thick 1mm tip that gives lots of juicy ink. I have used the Jelly Roll in the size 1mm. I've also used the Uniball Signo. I've got good things to say about both of those, but right now this has been my absolute favorite. And this white gel pen is actually the freebie that comes when you do order a journal from my shop, because it's my favorite beginner tool. Like, you can just have a very basic pack of markers, which is actually what I recommend. Buy a pack of Crayola Super Tips. You can get 100 of them for less than 20 bucks. But if you have a white gel pen, you can take all of your coloring and your doodles to the next level and make them look way more lively, way more unique, just by having that one little tool. So that's why I give those as a freebie. The Languo P600B is my absolute favorite right now, and I use it on every single page. in my journal. Now, as you can see here, we've moved on to the weekly spreads. So we are done with the monthly spreads now, and there are 5 weekly spreads in each month. Again, they're not dated, so you can use this for any year. And I'm just going in firstly and coloring in the plants, coloring on the calligraphy. And once it's all colored in, you're going to use this as either a weekly planner, which is probably the most common way, or if you don't use a planner, or if you do use a planner but not in this style, maybe you're more picky about your planner like me. This honestly isn't enough space for me to plan out my day. Because I work from home and run a small business, I feel like I have so many like tiny tasks to be done in my home every day. This would never be enough space for me. So I actually do my planning in a different journal. And then I use this more as like a memory keeping sort of journal. So at the end of the day, just writing a little entry, you can write something that you're grateful for. You can give yourself a journal prompt, or you can just journal about the day. It doesn't need to be a planner. That's just kind of the most common way that people would use a page like this. Just finishing up the weekly spreads now with some white gel pen and then some of those tiny little black sparkles. I use one of my smallest fine liners for that. That is a 0.05 millimeter fine liner, so about half the size of this white gel pen tip here, to do some tiny little sparkles. But yeah, if you enjoy content like this, as I mentioned earlier, I am live every weekday. We work on custom bullet journals together and do the entire process together. We choose the themes together, we plan out the composition of each page together, and then we execute it together. So if that sounds interesting to you, please feel free to join us there. That's also a great place to ask questions if you have questions about journaling or coloring in your journal or anything like that. So doing a quick flip through here, you saw the title page and my tasks page. Here's the calendar, the trackers, and the memories. And then finally, the first of 5 weekly spreads for this month. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. I hope to see you again in the next one.